r/AskReddit, what do people think is a scam but they just don't understand? There was a time when my parents thought buying stuff online and paying with a credit card it's a scam. Took me a while to convince them that if you know which sites are good to order from and which are bad, you can actually avoid scams. We had a gal in the telco who was retiring under a surplus, meaning they would pay her so much for each year she worked, in addition to her pension. She turned the money down because she didn't want her taxes to be too high. I didn't know her and heard about it after she left. The union guys tried to explain it but she just would not listen. I don't know if she thought it was a scam but she didn't trust the IRS. My dad and online banking. You can check your balance, make transfers, and even set up standing orders. But my account will get hacked is his response every single time. Nuclear power. People are generally concerned about the pollution it causes when in reality the radioactive waste from a nuclear power plant has a relatively low impact on the environment, especially when compared to the fallout of more resource-heavy nuclear weapons. My dad and stepmom once freaked the fuck out because the census was at our door. They said, "She doesn't have a marked car, it's a scam, she had a badge and clipboard." Then my psycho stepmom proceeded to get mad at me for opening the door, for the census. Buying a beginning band instrument, then buying a step-up instrument within a couple of years. Declining pay rises because they think they'll pay more in tax and their take-home will be less than before the pay rise. Edit. The amount of comments claiming it has happened to them is really disturbing. Learn how your taxes work, people. The repair industry. I worked in home repair, small engine repair and computer repair shops years ago. A lot of people expected us to just fix things for free. Others would take it as an insult when we would quote prices or ask to be paid for a job, send a bill, and some people would ask why or what is this, ask us why we were ripping them off even though the bill was itemized and the price was discussed beforehand. It was a horrible industry to work in because of the way people are. The air in bag of chips. Travel insurance. It was great when they arranged all travel from overseas apartment to our house when child broke their ankle on an internship. Paid all of our out-of-pocket expenses, including our deductible/co-pays until child was functioning. Edit. We're American. Veterinary care. People don't understand that I can't just dispense certain medications without seeing the patient first. Some of these medications could cause fatalities or worsen the situation if used/prescribed wrong. Endless bread at the steakhouse. They get you with the free bread. Harbor Freight tools. Sure, they are cheap and probably poorly made, but for $100 I got a power washer. Do you know how much joy a power washer can bring someone? Neighbor is washing his car with a hose looking like a fool. Imprinting on checks at the cash register, so much faster than writing it out. Some members of my family think internet providers are scammers because they pay for 400 Mbps download and think they will get 400 Mbps download on each device even if someone is watching Netflix or downloading at the same time on another computer. The stock market. Lots of people over worry about the short term, withdraw once it dips and never put back in, never realizing the magic is in the long term. Selling the Eiffel Tower. But on a serious note, higher tax brackets and thinking they save money by not doing overtime. Therapy. People just can't fathom that just talking to someone who is not involved directly in your life can really help with processing and resolving a problem. You only get out of it what you put in. Airline/hotel/credit card rewards. They take a lot of time and a 100% commitment to never, ever carrying a balance, but you can definitely earn a lot of rewards even without playing the churning games. The FlyerTalk.com community is amazing for anyone wanting to get started. Paying to publish. Roughly 3–5% of thousands of people a year who search for agents when trying to get a book published from a traditional publisher are accepted. When musicians try to create an album, they have to usually pay to use a studio, have someone market it for them, and edit the song. Why is publishing seen as any different? Everyone expects to be paid for their book, when in reality, you have to pay someone to even take a glance at it, let alone give you any worthwhile feedback. Everyone keeps telling me the Nigerian prince that's been messaging me for the last week and a half is a scammer, but they just don't understand our love. Vaccines and vaccination. Not me, but those who are anti-vaccination really have no understanding of virology, immunology, epidemiology, or how to assess relative risk. They probably fall into many of the other things that they think is a scam but they don't understand. Higher pay rates for union trade labor. Mutual funds, they are a good investment product for the right portfolio, certainly not for everyone, but they serve a valued purpose for some people. Insurance, it's weird to pay for something that you hope not to use. For a depressing amount of the UK, the EU. Invigoron, a business opportunity as rare as the Albany berries themselves. My mom with any online retailer, she always goes on a huge rant when I want to buy something online about how those websites will steal your bank info and take your money. I know there are sketchy websites that do that, but I only use ones that I know are trustworthy like Amazon, Target, Walmart, Best Buy. I don't trust eBay, not for the site but for the people on it. You could buy a new controller and get a bootleg. I don't use eBay and wish it's not about my information, it's about the product. Some things are just advertised as really good but turn out to be really cheap, but my mom always rants about my information being stolen when all I want is to buy a PS5 on Target. Costco employees, when they try to get you to buy the higher membership when you're checking out, it actually saves you money and pay for itself if you get enough of the 2% back. Tiered tax rates. Flipping pinball machines. Protection plans if purchasing notoriously fragile planned obsolescence sorts of tech products, like inkjet printers or headphones/earbuds. Care credit. People always think vet offices tell you to apply to our credit cards so you can pay your bill because we don't offer payment plans. It is not just for vet hospitals but any medical service. You get 6 months 0% interest for whatever amount you are approved for, and it is an outside company. Vet hospitals don't usually offer payment plans. BC people don't pay and then they get sent to collections. We can't afford to not have income. Ask anyone who works at a clinic and I bet you they are getting by paycheck paycheck. Even DVMs aren't making much considering they graduate with just as much student loans as an MD. In the UK it is actually possible to get a raise and then as a result have less net income. Some people will qualify for certain benefits, things like working tax credits, universal credit, child benefit. If you were earning say £11,000 pa and were supporting 2 children, it's likely you would be getting some of the above, and this could be £100s per month in government support. However, this support is governed by your income, and if you decided to pick up a few more shifts, etc., then that money you get decreases. Child benefit is for everyone with children unless you are earning over £60,000. I think having 2 kids is something like £1,700 per year. If you were earning £59,000 PA and your boss gave you a £1.5k bonus, you would lose this child benefit. That would be Reddit. One day karma may have real value. Equally fun question: what do people think they understand but is actually a scam? Making 2 purchases. Everyone I know thinks they're going to pay more tax if they make 2 purchases, rather than 2 items in a single purchase. It boggles my mind that they don't understand when I try to explain that 14% of $20, twice, is the same as 14% of $40. In some cases, DLC for games. I play a fair amount of fighting games, and it's a bit annoying when people see a game with a lot of DLC and immediately assume the game is trying to scam them. When a developer is supporting a game, of course they're gonna want to add more characters to it. It's one of the easiest ways to drum up hype, mix up the gameplay, and bring some more variety to the game. If a game is supported for a while, then of course, it's gonna get a lot of DLC. This mostly bothers me with Beeb Tag cause characters are sold in packs of 3 that cost as much as single characters in other games. Wow, look, this game has half the roster as DLC. Yeah, characters are re-used assets, so they were released in bulk after launch. There definitely are fighters that tried to scam people with DLC. Dead or Alive 6, SFXT, MVC, Marvel 3, Capcom's pretty bad for this in general, but it bothers me when people associate a lot of DLC with their scamming us. Modern medicine, like Cletus, we just want you to not spread COVID, it isn't gonna make you gay. I know I'm late to the party on this comment, but in America the sad answer is this is how people are stating to look at unions. People saying I don't wanna pay union dues every month even though my dues cost me less than 2 hours of work a month and my wage is more than double what I would be making non-union, and that doesn't count the benefits that aren't even supplied to non-union guys in this trade. USPS. Investing in $GME, all shorts have to cover, they have not, and GameStop is revolutionizing their business model and team. Extremely bright future ahead. Edit 1. They have also cleared all their long-term debt and have much cash on hand, which is a great thing. Edit 2. Unfortunately, the media has painted GameStop as a poor investment choice. Contrary to all the fundamentally good things about this company, the data also strongly suggests that the institutional players who are betting against GameStop are not abiding to the regulations. Socialized healthcare, apparently, but I'm not sick and I don't man apply for other people and never use it, blah blah blah. You could fall flat on your face and second and need $500 worth of stitches and painkillers. You can get run over at no fault of your own. You can have a freaking aneurysm. Getting regular checkups is even gonna bring your premiums down. The insurance would rather pay $50–100 for a yearly dental checkup than $15K in prosthetics because all your teeth rotted out because you didn't see anyone in 10 years. Why is the concept of socialism so scary to some Americans? What's so bad about it? Being able to rely on the community. If I get sick, I don't bankrupt myself. If I lose my job, I won't lose my home and can still live a frugal, but dignified life. I would rather live a life with a lot of security and all the same options than a life with zero security but more freedoms. Medical debt bankruptcy is not freedom. The microchip in the COVID vaccine, it's actually super helpful if you need to trace your location because you lost something, track you steps for weight loss, etc. 10/10 would totally pay extra for the microchip vaccine again. Multilevel marketing, boss babe. NASA, physics, and anything about the earth being round. Credit card points, literally free money if you have an ounce of discipline. Kindness. Buying software/plugin/music, it can seem very expensive for something that you can't hold in your hands. Insurance, it's something you hate until you need it. School. Birds aren't a scam, they are real. They are real spy drones for the Illuminati and help spread 5G so we have better connections between COVID tracking chips and the Saurus space laser. A bed that costs $2,000, fucking life-changing. School laptops in Germany. As far as I know, schools in Germany need to pay much more than the average consumer for technology. We also have an electrical chalkboard and just the PC that couldn't handle XCO costs 5k euros. But I guess that's Germany. Tax progression. COVID-19. My ex told me Bitcoin was a scam in 2013. Insurance. Most people are underinsured. Berea College. It's the only college in America that guarantees $0 in tuition for every accepted student. When people hear that, they immediately think it's some kind of scam. Trading stock/crypto in general, everyone says it's a pyramid, but that's just how every tradable goods work. Why this app is not a pyramidal scheme and how you can be your own boss/s. Crypto and blockchain. Bitcoin. Investing in GME. Marginal tax increases on the wealthy. Custom mechanical keyboards can cost upwards of 1k, feel, sound, and look awesome. The recent US elections. A lot of preventative maintenance on their vehicles. The theory of evolution. First, the definition of theory in science is very different from the colloquial term. Second, evolution and its mechanisms have been proven repeatedly and put into practice across genetics, medicine, paleontology, comparative anatomy, biogeography, embryology, and molecular biology. For the scientific community, it's not even a question. However, some, primarily evangelical Americans, don't understand it, and with a level of confidence that rivals Dunning-Kruger, dismiss it as a scam. Edit. Here's a link to what theory actually means in science. Modern/post. Modern art. It pops up in every "what conspiracy do you believe?" thread. Most people just don't understand art trends, art patronage, fine art sales, investing in the arts, or taxes, and why would they need to really? It's a small niche, Doesn't mean it's a big conspiracy or scam though. Pet insurance. Everyone freaks out because you have to pay for the services up front and then the insurance pays you back. Everyone I've talked to won't get it because they won't pay me back, or if I have to pay up front anyway, what's the point? Look, when Fido gets cancer and needs chemo, you're going to be thrilled you will be getting that $6,000 back, or whatever it is. We have a boxer, and they are known for cancer. My first one actually did die of cancer, so, every year we have to pay for a physical and cancer screening. It's pricey, about $600 bucks, however, I get that money back every single time. Plus I have the reassurance that, if she gets sick, I'm covered. I highly recommend pet insurance. Public health care. I've seen people go far as protest against it. I live in a country with public health care and it saved people so much more than any amount of tax you'd have to pay. A customer purchased a living room set for about $3,000. It was damaged upon delivery. We accepted the return, then credited her payment toward a new living room set. Then she called, furious that the money wasn't refunded to her bank account. I explained that the money was credited to her store account, then immediately applied to the new living room set. She was adamant that she was being charged twice. I had her read her statement and show me all of the transactions she had with us. There was exactly one, for the original $3,000. Why wasn't that ever refunded? Because we're delivering a replacement. You're not being charged again for the replacement. The money you paid the first time has been applied to the second living room set. She wasn't convinced. She demanded a refund. Okay, we'll just need to have you return the replacement living room set and then we can issue a refund. But I don't want to cancel. I want the living room set. Then we'll keep the $3,000 and let you keep it. If we were to both refund and replace, we would be giving you a free living room set. That's not how this works. Legally voting in elections in the US of A. In the UK, student loans, most know they are incredibly favorable, but I still see some talking about how bad they are. There is a minimum wage bracket to pay them back. You are only charged a percentage of the amount over the bracket you earn. For example, if it were 10%, and bracket was £200, and you earn £220, you only pay £2, and the entire loan gets written off after 30 years. Yes, some people pay £300 plus a month, but that's when they are earning over £100, a year, if their earnings stop or go down, so do the payments. The stock market. Multi-level marketing, be your own boss babe, /s. Wine. I work as a sommelier, outside of the wine industry, on Reddit, and other places, you constantly hear people talk about the study where the experts are fooled by cheap wine, etc. Most of these studies are done at universities, with inexpensive wines, and people who are not really experts. In general, more expensive wines are a lot better, but are also a lot rarer. There are of course exceptions, cheap wines which are fantastic. These are rarer, because as a wine gets a reputation for being good, the demand increases. With the famous/rare wines, there is more competition for them. Chateau Lafite, for example, can only produce so much wine. The buyers at first were only the French, and the British and other Europeans. When the Americans started buying it and there was more demand, the price had to climb. When the Chinese started buying it, the price could only go up. Lafite cannot just produce more Lafite, so the price for a wine like this has to climb exponentially with the increased demand, and the globalization of wealth. In particular, we have the conspicuous consumption of European goods. Chanel can make more handbags, but Lafite cannot produce more Lafite. Then we have the problem of wine in restaurants being a different price to what you see at the supermarket, depending on the location, or in America, the state. You might have very different taxes/laws between bottle shops and restaurants, and the wine may legally need to come from different suppliers. Restaurants tend to not be able to buy in as large of a bulk, etc. Further, with the restaurant, the extra cost is that the wine is guaranteed. If it is cork/off, the restaurant will provide a new bottle. The waiter/som will be trained, to at least some degree, and know what wines they have and help you pick one that goes with what you are eating. With this you get glass service, decanting, etc. All of this equals a higher cost at a restaurant than a bottle shop. It is not a scam, but it is a bit like eating a steak at a restaurant and going, oh, I can buy meat at the butcher for less. Of course you can. The Earth being round. I totally get it, but don't tell me that Lays attract more bacteria than any other chips. Capitalism. Americans' perception of universal health care, or tax for that matter. The census. Oh my god, I used to work for my country's research and census gathering department. The amount of people who would refuse to do a government-mandated survey is staggering, like they would refuse the survey based on the fact that the government was asking how much they make yearly. Like, do you not know what taxes are? The government already knows how much you make. Granted, there were always people who would not believe we were really the government and were untrustful for that reason. They would also refuse it based on what party is in power at the time, or if they dislike the prime minister, as if that has anything to do with the census. Deposed Nigerian princes. I am in fact one of them, and I have a large sum of money that I need to transfer overseas. In the US, universal health care. I would say insurance. In Germany there are insurance for everything, but here in the US people are so against it. Even here on Reddit, when I mentioned sometime that is a good idea to have pet health insurance to not put in a situation where you have to choose between rent and the life of your pet, I got roasted so hard. If you choose the insurance carefully it will help. Of course there are many useless ones, but it can help a lot. You have to see it more as an installment plan for future events. Pyramid schemes. They always work. Pyramid scheme. Thanks for watching. Comment suggestions for any future videos and make sure to subscribe to not miss out on any more good content. I upload daily videos from r/AskReddit, and if you like the video, make sure to like the video.